Okay, it's showtime. I'm using the really rudimentary greens. It's actually not rudimentary. I'll show you what's happening with the green screen. Uh, this is a brand new feature from. There we go. There's none. That's what actually looks like behind me. Sneaky figure just running and hiding behind the green screen, in fact. So, yeah, that's what the room actually looks like behind me. So you can see I haven't got my green screen up. That's a ding from Aidsy. Is he coming in or not? Cool, he is. So, yeah, I haven't got it set up properly. At the last minute, I remembered I could do it. But you can sort of, look, I've got a brick wall behind me. I don't think I'll do it. Aidsy's going to join, by the way. Did I mention who's here? Luke, Fox of Fate, hello. My voice is not my voice is not going to hold out. So that is a portable green screen that I use a lot. One side's blue, one side's green. I might try and do it properly. No, oh my God, AD better get here. Hopefully there's enough vitamin C in my lemon lime drink to fix me up. Hey, Miss Foxification, how you doing? So I can periodically go in and out of green screen. Should wear a green screen. Oh, look, I can push the settings on green screen so more and more disappears, like with the brick wall. And I go like, see? And then it's just my head. Oh, it's the ghostly angry. It's the ghost of angry doing a live stream. And then I can come back a bit more. And you see my green screen. That's, there we go. That's probably about the optimum setting for it, which is neat. Yes, Musical Aviator. It's a bad combined day, isn't it? Brown rain, crashing firefighting planes, hail, rain. Oh, this Foxification. If I dress Scummo in green, can you fade him out? Feel like he's doing a fair job of fading himself out. We live in hope. I think most of us would be happier if he were somewhere else, not here. I'm just eating a bit of lime out of my drink. Exactly, Luke. I could put anything behind me. The next time I might even set up my green screen properly so we can do the whole screen. So there's Aidsy. You ready to come on? Yes?
Yes.
Aidsy's ready to come on.
Hello, Angry. Hello, peeps. Thank you very much for letting me be on your device. And I don't know what Angry said before I got on, but he's a very sexy person.
I've got my sexy husky voice this week because I'm still not particularly well. I didn't do a live stream on Tuesday because I was too unwell.
No, I know that you didn't do a live stream on Tuesday because I was going, it's 9 o'clock. I was supposed to be doing a live stream, but I'm not. And then I looked on my phone and there was no message going from Andrew going, hey, do a live stream, you fat fuck. And it just wasn't there. And I went, hang on a minute. And so I turned on the live stream and then realized I don't have a link.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. And then I realized Andrew wasn't doing it. And I thought, if I message him now, he'll get so angry at me that he'll come round to my house and torture me with the drip torture, which I don't like. And so I let it go.
Yeah, although I wouldn't have got that angry, I would have just gone, "No, I'm sick." Like,
I don't know, man.
I don't have energy to be. I
I
did a
just, I just,
Wednesday video yesterday, and it took all my fucking energy, and I couldn't
yeah.
fucking speak at the end. I don't know. I don't know how long my voice is going. I might just end up doing kabuki in this because my voice might give out, and I'll have to hand it. But who came in while we were talking?
We've
Adele.
fucking spoken about kabuki. You don't
Yeah,
do kabuki because I ejaculate. You know that?
you're thinking
We've
of
fucking
bukkake.
spoken about this. What?
You're thinking of bukkake. Kabuki is different.
Oh, I am too, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
I
So,
am.
although there's a lot of
Oh, shit.
in a lot of the bukkake videos, there are still people doing this, like, oh no, no.
No, because the last time I was in Bukaki, I was Central Princess,
Hmm.
and I
Yeah,
was really intoxicated.
hmm,
So I get Kabuki and Bukaki mixed up a lot.
yeah. And
Um,
because kabuki, you have the white face on, and with
and in
enough
Bukaki, you
bukkake,
get the white
hmm,
face.
hmm,
And you have the special costumes as well, which in
yeah,
Bukaki is naked.
yeah, or a raincoat, if you really want to.
No, you don't want a raincoat. You
Um,
want the warm showers.
yes, it's. Oh, Lisa wants to help me out with some yelling because I can't yell at the moment. Lisa is quite good at yelling.
Lisa, do the yell, babe. Give it a go. Because angry needs a bit of yelling. I can give it a little bit of pretend yell. You know what I'm saying? As I just move around the screen
Yeah.
in an unnatural fashion, I can give it a bit of a pretend yell, but only our angry man. Only
Yeah.
our angry man can dig it from deep within the bowels of the earth where the lava rumbles as it just becomes magma. And at that scene of angry, our
Yeah.
man angry can bring the, not fury, no, it's not fury, it's deeper than that. It's a real righteous, but not even righteous, because that just suggests some kind of religious, chicanery. No, it's an anger that's formed from nature. It's a genetic anger. It's an anger that came from the first amoeba going, there is not enough carbon dioxide in this fucking water for me to have a comfortable life, right? It's that genetic anger that went right through the dinosaurs going, what the fuck is that big rock doing? And right, it's that genetic anger that went right through the megafauna of Australia going, these black guys, they are aggressive. And it's the kind of genetic anger that leads to tram drivers, as I saw today,
Yeah.
yesterday, tram drivers get out of their tram and go, you are supposed to stop. You are
Yeah.
supposed to stop when the fucking doors open. You
Yeah.
want to kill people? Geez, I nearly got killed. And this tram driver fucking went off his brain. I was the only one getting off the tram. And
Yeah.
I have this habit of looking when I get off the tram because
Yes.
I'm old and crippled and I
Yes.
can't run. And so I looked and this car just fucking bazoomed straight past. And I'm going, fuck yeah, no. And everyone in the tram heard me go, fuck yeah, no.
Yeah.
And they looked and they went, Jesus. And a couple of people went, fuck, no. And so I
Yeah.
get off and, because you got to get off. And I go to the curb because, again, you got to go to the curb. Otherwise, cars will run you over. And then the tram driver gets out of the tram and fucking does his nuts. Which I thought, good on you, mate, because I was
Yeah.
the one that he was
Yeah.
representing there. Me.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
important enough for a tram driver to go, don't kill people.
Yeah.
I was a person not to kill. And I
Big
thought,
plus.
I feel good about myself today
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
usually people go, fuck him, run him down. He's clearly homeless. No one gives a fuck. He's clearly got 14 specialists at RMH. He's a fucking drag on the economy, society. ScoMo would look at him and go on holiday. That's what a kind of fucking disaster area this guy is.
Bushfire in human form.
Right? I am a disaster so bad that ScoMo would instantly go on holiday, probably to the Seychelles. And Angry's left the brick salon, hopefully not to go and do something fucking
I had to
sick.
close the door.
Oh,
You know,
I thought you were going for a spit. I thought you were going for a vomit. I was going, oh, fucking hell.
No.
I'm going to have to fucking carry the show on my own, which I might not be able to.
You might have to. Yeah, I got green screen action happening. Brand new feature on StreamYard.
Oh, I thought you were fucking somewhere else and just in front of a brick.
No, I can be anywhere. Where should I be?
You should be on a tropical beach.
Okay, I just find a good picture of a tropical beach. Oh wow, there are obviously lots of good pictures of tropical beaches.
Blue water.
I just want to get a large picture to.
Lots of powdery drugs.
Size, yes, powdery water, that type of thing. So, okay, got to save this image on the desktop as a beach.
Swarthy skinned locals with great genitals.
Calm down.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do I mean? What do
you got to go to an island where people give it a little bit of, do you want some? Fucking A, let's go. You know, and you get people of either coming up and going, check this out. And you're going, yeah, checking it out. What do you want me to do with it? Anything you want, boss. And, you know, oh, nice beach.
So you know I'm on a tropical beach.
It's got a bloody a porcupine. No, coconut. I don't know why I needed to call a coconut plant a porcupine. It's very Flappy Dogs. You know what I'm saying?
It's a Flappy Dog moment. Just imagining AB on a beach having had one or two daiquiris too many, and just pointing down the beach, going, "Will you look at the size of that fucking porcupine?" And everyone on the beach goes,
and people would go, "There are no porcupines on this tropical island." I'm going, no, fucking look.
It's a tree porcupine.
It's a fucking porcupine in the tree, and there's lots of them, and they fall and they hurt you on the head. People would go, "You're fucked," and I'd go, "I know, but there's porcupines up there. I don't know what the real word is, but I'm saying, you know, if I was in the Flappy Dog situation and I said, I don't know what the real word is. I'm just saying Flappy Dogs because I'm trying to find the real word. I'm just putting a placeholder in."
Yes.
They would have been a bit more sympathetic.
That would have been a bit more understandable, yes.
However, I was
just asserted Flappy Dogs.
Wildly fucked on drugs, and so they just didn't take anything I said seriously whatsoever.
Oh, and for anyone who wants to report AZ to the police on that one, in this occasion, he's actually talking about hospital drugs, serious hospital-grade ketamine. And
yep, I was on ketamine, dimorphine, which we all know what that is. I was on ketamine, dimorphine, morphine, and I was also on a thing called brufatenin, which is a form of brufatoxin, which is toad.
It's like cane toad venom, isn't it?
Yep.
Which is hallucinogenic, which is why you saw Flappy Dogs.
No. The Flappy Dogs were real. Flappy Dogs were a real thing. They were really vent pipes with old tar paper flapping around them that looked like fucking penguins, and it was penguins that I didn't have the word for, and they had to turn into Flappy Dogs. So All of that was real, except for the vocabulary. What do they call it? Malfunction when you
Yeah.
show your tit off on stage. So
Penguins weren't
vocabulary
real.
malfunction. What's that?
The penguins weren't real. You didn't.
No,
You didn't think
I was
it was a
saying they
plastic
looked
chart
like
paper.
penguins. I was saying they looked like fucking penguins. They weren't penguins. I was saying, look, they look like penguins. They look like, they gave the appearance of, on the fucking hospital is not there now. But no, you know what it was? It was a bridge too far, right? My processes, because you're right, you were saying there are no penguins. Of course there were no fucking penguins. They're just of the appearance of penguin, right? But I was so fucked, I couldn't find the word penguin. So how was I going to explain the appearance of penguin when I was too fucked to say penguin and I was saying flappy dog? Do you see what I'm saying? Bridge
I
too
do.
far.
I do.
Bridge too
Yeah.
far. People
It was
weren't
double
going to
too far.
take me seriously when I was on a cocktail of really fantastic drugs,
Yeah.
except for the ketamine, because I fell down the K-hole later and did some real damage
Yeah.
to myself in the hospital.
Not good.
And they have basically said I'm never allowed to have ketamine again. Oh.
It was a learning experience.
It is, mind you. It's ketamine. People really enjoy it, but I wasn't as much fun for me. I really,
Horse
really
tranquilizer.
enjoyed the Brufatenin.
Yeah.
That was fucking very out there.
Yeah.
The Brufatenin was about, and I didn't know what it was about. I thought, why do they just want me to hallucinate? What the fuck's that about? No, that's not what it's about. What it's actually about is it actually binds all of the other opioids and all the other drugs together in a pulsed fashion, so that they're not all agonizing one another.
Ah.
And the Brufatenin, basically, because it's making your mind a bit fucked up, is basically cleaning off all of your receptor sites on a regular basis, so that you don't have to keep on having more and more and more and
Ah.
more opioids.
Yeah.
You can have a decent amount and it'll last as much as there's chemical in there, as opposed to putting chemical in, most of it be wasted out of your kidneys, and then putting more
Yeah.
chemical in, because
Right.
you can kill people doing that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's that's what it is. Unfortunately, you do trip balls.
Yeah. It's like it's a really good party host. It's just wandering around your brain receptors, going, "Hey, come in. Look, I've cleared a spot. Have a seat. Just sit down. Oh, there's morphine. You'll get on great.
You'll get
No.
on
You'll get
great.
on. No, just stick
You've
with me.
got to meet dimorphine
Yeah.
and Brufatenin. Come on, guys. I think it's time for dancing, don't you?
Yes.
The spiral and a
They
big
should get
cube
us to teach
coming
med
to
students and
say.
explain to them how drugs work. That's
What's that?
They should get us to teach med students about how drugs work. Oh yeah.
They should.
Sally's worried I'm going to die because I got man flu, and I'm worried I'm going to die because I got man flu as well. But we're soldiering on. Oh,
Man flu
Big Pat saying
is
hi,
a
and
very
he did say it was
dangerous.
his mum's birthday, 70. So I have to
Who
say,
said that?
wrestling days, Big Pat. You know, Big Pat.
I know Big Pat. Hey,
Yeah.
Big Pat, happy birthday to your mum, dude.
So yeah, and yeah, a little happy birthday for Pat's mum.
Yeah.
I see James wants to go to our drug education class. We're not actually going to give them to you.
No, we're going to give them to me.
Although,
and
that's
say-
what I used to thought, like back in the deep dark, when we were at college, it's when they first started nursing at universities, because it used to be in hospitals prior to that. And then you find out nursing students, and they go, I got a unit this month called recreational drugs. And they go, so does everyone else. It's just it's an elective for
Yeah,
everyone
we're all
else.
doing that.
So
Yeah,
it's a
everyone's
core
got
unit
that
for
unit.
you, but
Yeah.
it's
And we were
although
doing it with
okay, I'm
fucking
joking.
lecturers as well.
When we were at college, I didn't drink alcohol at all, and I didn't do drugs at all. And this was at what I was a hot contender for the most drug and alcohol fueled campus of higher education in Australia.
Yep.
Because it's in a country town with fuck
No
all.
fucking question. It
Yeah.
was awash with drugs and alcohol. People used to go up to the bar in stubbies, shorts and thongs,
Mm,
because it was warm. There was no air conditioning anywhere on the campus,
yeah.
none. Right, so it would get to around 31 or 2 degrees and
Mm,
humid as fuck.
yeah.
And so the only way to cope with that was to get intoxicated out of your mind and have sexual intercourse.
There's a
Um,
lot of that.
and there was a lot of that. There was extreme amounts of that. So basically, you'd rock up to the bar, and when I got there, I was 17 years old, right? I had just turned 17 years old. And I rock up the bar thinking, oh, I'm going to have to fucking do the ID thing. It's going to get awkward. I'm going to have to get my mates to get me beers and bring it out the back and shit like that. I'm going to have to make mates because, I just moved into town. And I rock up to the bar and they go, righto, here you go. And I talked to someone later and said, ID and all that. And they said, oh, no, they don't fuck around with that. There's too many people in line to fuck around with IDs. They just throw piss over the bar and fucking take your money and go. And it was like, yes, that was what it was like for the 7 years I was there. That's
Yeah.
exactly what happens. And I thought, 7 years later, it had fucking mature. Because we went from a college and they turned us into a university overnight. It was 1-2 week holiday, and we came back, and all the signs were different. And we were no longer Mitchell College, we were Charles Sturt University. The irony was not fucking lost on the students, right? Look it up.
Yeah.
And we just went, fuck, we're a uni. What's
Yeah.
that mean? Nothing.
Nothing.
And we basically rocked up to the bar and they went, welcome to the Charles Sturt University bar. Things are going to be different here now. Oh, shit. What's going to be different? The signage. Here you go.
Yes.
More pairs. And that was it, basically. The big thing they used to do at the beginning of the year was they used to say condoms are good and they're free.
Yeah.
Use them regularly, and
Oh my God.
we did.
The place had such a reputation, and there was folklore around it. When I were a lad in Dubbo, which was even further west, and we're getting close to the end of school, and there's always some people who went there to Mitchell. I was one of them, as it turned out. But there was folklore around it, and one of the urban legends was they stopped serving sandwiches in plastic wrap because horny college students thought they could use that as a condom, which resulted in a spate of pregnancies.
That never happened. It happened in Canberra.
Condoms.
It didn't happen in Bathurst. It happened in Canberra. The other thing that happened in Canberra was they used a Mars bar wrapper as a condom.
That's a line in Archer, the animated series.
No, it's a real thing. It is
chocolate bar
world
wrappers
famous.
and condoms.
It is world famous as a contraceptive fuck up, and it happened in Campbell High School in Canberra. And
made it to Archer, so it really is a global.
Yeah, no, it's a global thing. That people just went, "Are you fucking nuts?" And essentially, what had happened was that the ACT government wanted to put condoms in high schools. And the federal government went, it's actually not a bad idea. Even though there'll be fucking condom jokes everywhere and there'll be condoms fucking everywhere. actually isn't a bad idea because the actual kids who will fuck with them will have them. And so then they said, you know what would be better is if we had condom machines in every dunny and every social area where you
Mm,
had to put $3 in, and then it would be
right.
much less likely to have condoms thrown around and
Yeah.
much more likely for them to end up in the wallet. So they went, okay, good idea. And these machines were ready to go. And then the Catholic Education Office jumped up and down and fucking screamed and yelled so hard and so loud that
Yeah.
none of the machines went in any school anywhere in Canberra. And they had to radically change their plan, which was to supply free condoms in youth community centres and different places where nobody went. And it was a massive fuck up. Um, but they also made chemists, pharmacies, basically hand out condoms for subsidised prices because the Australian federal government subsidised condoms from then on in, which was a great move. Subsidised prices, no questions asked to any age. So
Yeah.
you could have walked in there as a 5-year-old and
Yeah.
bought condoms and they would have gone fine and handed them over. No judgment, no questions, no nothing. And that was brilliant. That was a very good plan and it worked really well. Angry, did you get that really bad conjunctivitis flu going around? He did. He's
No, I've
got
just got a
man flu.
cold. Yeah, man flu. I've just got a cold. I had
Very
an
bad.
actual influenza stomach virus a couple months ago.
Oh,
That was 12 hours of vomiting,
yep.
thinking I was gonna die. 12 hours of wondering why I wasn't dead, and
12
oh,
hours of
three,
please,
three or
please
four.
let me die.
Yeah, I'd stopped vomiting, but I was just lying there thinking, "Why aren't I dead? I feel like
Please
I
make
should
me
be
dead
dead."
now. I
Then 3 or
have
4
a
days to
neighbour
recover.
here
Yeah,
in the block of flats, and for 3 days he vomited constantly and was on the dunny constantly, but
yeah.
he'd locked his door,
Oh,
so I
shit.
couldn't get him to help him.
Yeah,
Makes sense that he'd lock his door, but he's locked it, and he's so incapacitated that he couldn't basically move to unlock his door. He finally got better enough to come out, and I went, dude, if you ever get that sick again, if you ever feel like you're getting that sick,
yeah,
just unlock your door and hit the porcelain. And if after like a day you're still bad, I'll be coming in to help
yeah,
you out. And everyone in the whole block does this, so don't be freaked. We
yeah,
help each other out. Remember when I broke my arm and you were there? My clavicle and lots of other bones, and you were
yeah,
there. See, it basically goes both ways. And
yeah.
but this poor guy, fuck me, I was thinking I'm gonna have to kick the door in because he's gonna die.
Yeah, yeah, that
Um,
would be a bit awkward if he died in there.
yeah, got unlimited data yesterday, Netflix today, but I'd rather be here watching this. Sally, thank you. You rule a little bit for making my life happy. Thank you for saying that. That's nice. Um, And I would, Luigi, nice bloody logo. Luigi895 saw you streaming while I was playing Elite Dangerous and thought I should stop playing now and stop in and say hi. Thank you, Luigi89. Elite Dangerous is a fucking good game too. I've only
Yeah.
seen like fly throughs of it.
I
Um,
don't know it at all.
it's just fucking. You got to imagine. Um, Fire, like, no, sorry, gunfire everywhere. Like some of it you can't touch because it'll kill you, like a lot of it. And some of
Right.
it is your friends and you, like fucking like chaos. And then you're flying around different platforms and then you stop and then you're shooting and then you're flying around. Oh my God. It's just like epileptics like me shouldn't even look at it.
Oh,
A la play it. I look at these games these days and feel so fucking jealous because I'm arthritic and manky. And ScoMo looks at me and goes on holiday.
Yeah.
My hands don't react nervously to the same impulse that my brain sends. So it's all, when you see me move stuff around, you see it very slowly. So it actually works. Because if I have to do quick movements, they don't sync up. So when I'm playing video games, you know how you've got to sync up your hands so that
Yes.
your player manages to shoot the Halo guy. It doesn't work like that. Fucking on jumping off fucking cliffs. Um, I keep on jumping out of
Mm,
the cars in Grand Theft Auto. It's just ridiculous. And so the only game I could ever play was Flight Simulator, because it had a
right.
joystick, and you can very you even if you've got a jet fighter, you've got to basically use a curving trajectory to fly. So
Yeah.
you're not just flick, flick, flick. You've got to move into and out of the trajectories. And so I could play that and got
Mm.
really fucking good at it. But all the other cool games I can't play. So thank you very much for stopping by from Elite Dangerous, because it's a
Uh,
fucking great game. Visually, it's so spectacular. Um, but it will wear you out,
yeah.
just because you're looking at it and trying to fucking concentrate on everything and trying to work out which bullets you cannot get hit by and which
Right.
bullets are your friends. But there are so many bullets on the screen that not hitting something is really untenable. You've got to get that good that fast. That's just day one.
Mm.
And towards the back end of it getting, right up the top, it's just fucking speed, danger, fucking bullets. Don't swap paint on other vehicles. It's like, what the fuck? Um, so, it's an awesome game. It was very nice for
Okay.
Luigi to stop and say hello to us.
Okay. Heist says he's playing Path of Exile while watching us, so that's
Well, that's a trickier thing to do.
yeah.
Path of Exile, I don't know much about. I've only really heard rumors. Um, I think it's a fantasy game, RPG style. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. Um, but I have touched a pony.
Yep, that's fair enough. And Rottweiler dude's suggesting I try raw ginger, turmeric, and ginger tea and eat an orange a day. Might help you feel.
Ah,
Or, or, or I could drink scotch. That would.
that might do it. I'd say that might do it. Drinking scotch would probably do it if you had man flu.
I never saw
Um,
Sean Connery with the flu. That's all I'm saying.
no, no, you haven't seen Sean Connery the flu, and I believe Sean Connery has a quite well-shaped penis. Again, scotch.
Makes him walk like a panther.
Mm-hmm.
That was the
Mm-hmm.
famous line that when he auditioned for James Bond, they didn't like his audition that much and they'd kind of written him off. And Cubby Broccoli happened to be looking out the window as Sean Connery is leaving, walking through the car park. And he said Connery walked like a panther and said, no, there's something to this guy that I
Yeah,
didn't get in
yep.
the,
Get him back. We're gonna have a look.
yeah.
Yeah. And the
And
first, sorry, go on.
no, just yeah, and then we got that immortal scene of those little brief swim trunks as he came out of the water, being a
Yes,
little
in
sex
Doctor
god.
No.
Yeah,
Fucking, I loved Doctor No. It was awesome. And then straight after that, they had fuck. What was the next one? Was it Blofeld and the Gold?
Goldfinger. I don't know.
Goldfinger.
I don't know. Sorry, now everyone's bloody playing. Heist says Path of Exile is like a Diablo clone. Adele's playing Kingdom
Okay.
Hearts 3. Fox of Fate is playing Civ 6, playing as Australia.
Hmm.
All right, and Loogie says that Exile is also like Baldur's Gate. So, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
it is a fantasy type game. And Yugos is agreeing with us, saying Scotch cures all ills. So there you
All
go.
ills. All ills. All ills.
Yeah.
Except for AIDS. You've got to use a condom.
Yes.
Do you know I had a fucking conversation with a fucking idiot girl a
Yes.
fucking little while ago who said, "Oh no, it's okay because HIV and AIDS is cured." And when me and my bro were going, "No, it's not," and she's going, "No, it's good because it's done now, and it's fine." And there's this guy in New York who's never got sick, and it's like, there's always a fucking guy in New York that's never
Yeah.
got sick. He doesn't have a name. He doesn't have an address. He doesn't exist. But there's always this fucking guy in New York who's fucking the
Yeah.
Jesus. And so me and the bro had to fucking sit this chick down and tell her, no, AIDS is real, HIV is real. The treatment is so much better now. They've done such fucking good work in the treatment since it all started. Back in the bad old days, between 3 and 6 months, you were dead.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you've got like 40 years worth of a really
Yes.
shitty life. And at the end of it, however, you die of AIDS.
Yes.
That's what happens. At the end of that time, you die of AIDS, which is
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
And so people fucking run around pretending that it's okay, and it's like it's not.
Yeah. It's not.
And the fucking highest rate of new AIDS or new HIV infections in Australia is fucking heterosexual males
Yep.
between the ages of 18 and 22. And
So yes, if you're someone having sex with a heterosexual male, make him wear a goddamn condom
fucking
because they're a
condom. It's not hard,
walking disease factory.
you know. Fucking condoms nowadays are fucking amazing. They're so thin that fucking it's not like you're wearing anything. And fucking people are allergic to latex, and the silicon ones are fucking great now. They used to be a bit shit, but now they're really, really fucking good. So for Christ's sake, get a dom on your dong, you fucking idiot, and you might live.
James was telling a story earlier about he knew a butcher who tied a knot in a natural intestine sausage casing, and he ended up with 2 kids in the dose of the clap. But some things are more effective than others. Medieval times, they actually used leather sheaths, very soft calfskin leather sheaths, which were better than nothing but not great. The history of contraception is wild.
Yeah, the fucking history of contraception is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And you got cultures who did it really badly, and cultures who did it really fucking well,
Yeah.
and frighteningly. Australian Indigenous contraception is frightening because it's male contraception.
Yeah.
And what they do is they sub-incise the base of the penis, right?
Yeah.
So up, and they cut a trench into the urethra, and essentially basically leave that open, and any spermatozoa is going to fly out there. Urine, on the other hand, is going to fly down through the penis. It's just the way they worked it out. And when they want the child, they get a particular plant shaped into the urethral opening, and whack, your spermatozoa is going straight down your woman's gynae hole.
That, that
Amazing, fucking
speaks
amazing.
that speaks to an enormous amount of experimentation, which concerns me greatly.
Well,
The number of
it not
trial
only
and error.
that, but think about your biological knowledge that you've got to have to fucking go there. Also, think about, okay, another thing that young men were taught when they were about to get married. Now, here's the other thing: you didn't just get married to your love. Didn't work like that. You got married to who you fucking got told you were going to get married to, and you had a pool of about 3 or 4 women who you could get with, and they could also reject you. Okay, they could say no. But you had a pool of 3 or 4 women you could get with, or if you were more senior, you'd have these 3 or 4 women. I don't want to get into that now,
Yeah.
but you had people you could get together with, and when you had decided that you were ready, and the tribe had decided when you were ready, because fucking you had to pass social tests to basically say you were going to be responsible as a husband. Um, and so once you'd passed your social tests and you'd passed your physical tests and you fucking got your marriage license, you then had to go through your technical procedures training.
Oh,
Okay, one of them was birthing, right? Birthing is a very difficult process in any culture, in any time throughout history. It has been one of the most dangerous things women have ever done. Dying during childbirth is a thing that has always haunted humans,
yeah.
right up to today. It doesn't matter how fucking good your medical science is; it's still fucking, a scary thing. One of the things that men would be taught would be how to spike a dead woman's breast so that the baby who managed to survive, but the woman who died, would basically get milk into it for the first 3 and 4 days until various different medicine plants could be boiled up and prepared properly to sustain the child's life. I don't know what those medicine plants are, and how they replace colostrum blows my mind. And I think that's something that Australian medical science might want to fucking get onto. But men got trained how to spike a breast of a dead woman to feed a baby. Think about this, right? This is your wife. You are looking forward to your baby. You have been there through the whole process of the difficult labor and birth. She has maybe had a hemorrhage and died. And you now have to fucking make sure this baby survives. And you have to do this immediately while the corpse is still warm. And you have to get enough milk out of your dead wife's breasts or baby for the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
How do you fucking just cope? How do you not fucking go, everything's shit and I'm just gonna, fail? No, you just gotta
Yeah.
fucking get it together and make it fucking happen and do it now. And what also freaked me out was you had to have your tools ready to go when she was going into labor. So you
Yeah.
had to have her she's gonna die tools ready to
Yeah.
rock. When she's in labor, she can see them. She can fucking see them going,
Yeah.
yep, might be dying now. Mind you, I had a dentist once who was a genius. And
Yeah.
what this dentist did was she brought the tools from behind my head into my mouth and I couldn't fucking see them.
Ah,
And it was great because you didn't have that anticipatory fear of what was coming next. Brilliant, totally brilliant. Student
I
dentist.
I do remember the last time I went in for. Oh, no, it wasn't the last time. It was one time I went in for major surgery. Um, for whatever fucking reason, they wheeled me right into the operating theatre when I was still conscious. Like they'd given me the pre-meds, so I was a bit
Yeah,
dozy, but I was conscious and I just looked over and the fucking tools, they just looked like they came from Bunnings, except they were all really shiny silver. It was like a
yeah, yeah,
sword,
yeah,
a chisel, and a hammer.
yeah.
And they were doing surgery on my fucking head. It was on my ear, but it meant actually going into my fucking skull.
Yeah.
And just seeing this stuff laid out, it's all surgical steel, but it just looked like fucking Bunnings tool set. And it's like, I didn't need to see that. I don't want to see that.
Osteo fucking tools, man. Osteo fucking surgery, bones,
Yes.
is fucking fucked up. Some of the
Yeah.
shit that they come out with, like, you look at some of this shit and go, is that a trepanning saw? And they go, no, no, that's just a fucking, it's just a finger filer.
Oh,
What?
yeah. They
Um,
muck
it's
around
just,
with fucking. Ugh.
oh, this is a pin inserter. And these things are like, oh, they're amazing. Okay, so you've got to imagine like a ring, yeah?
Yeah.
So a ring goes over a finger, and then you've got effectively well, it's all air pressure, but it's like an air gun or a shotgun that goes punch and makes a punch,
Yeah.
and then as it makes a punch, leaves a piece of titanium steel in there, so that they can then put frames around your bones so that you can get your bones healed again. But it's
God
just
damn.
this fucking yeah, it's like it's like a fucking nail gun that goes
Oh,
into your
God.
fingers.
Ah.
Was that not a thing I should have said?
No, you should have said it. It's just funny. Oh, God. Okay. It's like about, it's almost half time. I'm going to make a
Yeah,
cocktail. Now, I'm going to make a topical cocktail.
a
Um,
topical cocktail.
Yeah, see now because this weekend marks Australia Day,
It
aka
does.
Invasion Day.
I don't
Uh,
like saying Invasion Day, but we'll talk about that in a second.
what's your preferred sobriquet for it?
Um, I like to call it Australians Day,
Yeah,
um, because I don't like using Invasion Day
yeah,
because I don't think the Indigenous Australians lost. Right?
right. Okay.
Invasion Day sounds like the white guys came in and won. No, I don't believe the Indigenous lost. And in a culture that has records going back 25,000 years, but we really know they're 40,000 years old. Going back 25,000 years, 200 years is a blink of a fucking eye.
Hmm.
Yes, lots of things have changed. Yes.
Survival Day. Sorry,
Hey?
I knew there was a name a lot of Indigenous people prefer. Survival Day.
Survival Day. Fucking
Yeah,
oath. And I like to call it Australians Day
yeah,
because it's fucking gives me the idea of um, okay, right. Let's take my example, right? I am white as, um, I'm white as, but I've got Aboriginal, Indigenous in me, in my family, right? So I've got
yeah,
Indigenous there, and I've got various different other Europeans, but I go back in this country 7 generations. I can't be anything else but Australian. There is
yeah.
no there is no connection for me genetically or culturally to any other place in the world except for the ones that kept on getting put in from various different beasts that either turned up or were here. So I am I am Skippy and native as can be, So I am not part of the invaders because I am local. I can't be any more local. And as a result, in 1,000 years or so, I will be part of the Indigenous Australian. Um, Effectively, what I'm saying is there's people of different colours, there's people of different religions, there's people of different timelines that have lived here. They've lived here 2 years, they've lived here fucking 50 years. There's people who have indigenous cultural lines. They have people who have European cultural lines. There's people who have African cultural lines. There's a lot of different Australians that are Australian.
Mm-hmm.
And, this whole fucking, it was an invasion of one people to another. That's not a thing now. Right now, there's a whole group of people from different places. I mean, we are really the mongrel children of the bastard sons of the rest of the world. And
Yes.
what every foreigner that comes to Australia tells me that blows their mind is that there's so many different cultures here and they're not killing each other. That's what every fucking foreigner tells me is like you can get anyone here. Like there's all kinds of cultures here and they're not killing one another. And it's like, yeah, well, it's Australia. That's the rules. Australia is the place you come to run. It's the place you run to when things are shit at home. I've got to run to the other side of the world. Oh, look, there's an Australia there.
Mm.
And so the rules are you get to Australia, you leave the thing that gets you shot at back there, you leave the politics back there, and you leave the hate back there, and you start either a food or a panel beating shop. And fucking that's how we work. So I
Yeah.
like to call it Australians Day
Yeah.
because it reminds us that there's a lot of different ways to make Australia. People complain that immigrants change us. Well, yes, of course they do, and that's a good thing.
Yes, I
Um,
celebrate that immigrants change us. Yeah.
but Australia, the land, changes everyone because it demands that you will behave in certain ways. You will fucking respect water. You will respect heat. You will respect animals. You will be careful of your rivers. You will learn how to swim properly. You will learn to identify aquatic animals, even little ones with purple and orange fucking rings on them. That's their rock pool. That's their rock pool. They're allowed to have that rock pool. Walk away.
Yes.
Australia demands that you will behave in a certain way. It encultures you. The
Yeah.
food that you can have, the sanitation that is demanded of you. In a lot of places in the world, you can get away with not having a shower for a week. That's real. In Australia, you have a shower every day because if you don't, you get sick real fucking quick.
You just smell
Um,
really bad.
hey,
Or you just smell really bad.
you can smell really bad, but you will get sick.
Yeah.
Um, you don't have a shower for like, let's say, a month in Australia. Yeah, you're in hospital. You've got infections
Yeah, we
hitting
got a shower.
you.
Yes, that's absolutely yes.
Yeah,
Safa's asking when did Australia Day start? Well, that's the funny thing about the whole thing with the date changing. Someone's going to change that. What again? Because it's only been a uniform date across Australia since the 1990s. So the idea that it's a fucking tradition that can't be changed is a fucking farce because it's been on a dozen different days in different states over the 20th century. We didn't start having an Australia Day until the 20th century after Federation. But hey, I found to take it on a slightly different tack. You know what else is January 26th? Rum Rebellion Day.
Yay!
So I'm going to make a Rum Rebellion cocktail, and then I'm going to tell you about it.
I was going to say the Rum Rebellion is still going on in Sydney. It's how we run New South Wales. Nothing's fucking changed. Because if you think it is, you find out in the electronic media that the politicians have done the same shit again. Because every 10 years or so they get caught doing some really dodgy shit, and then you go, oh no, it's all fixed up now. Then in another 10 years, you find out that they've done some dodgy shit. And the thing about New South Wales is what's beautiful is it's bipartisan. It's hands across the aisle, right? Because it's both the right and the left together being corrupt and making money off the local people. And that puts a glow in my heart. That they don't give a fuck what. Sorry, mate.
You like the cooperation?
Yeah, that they don't give a fuck what side of the fence they're on. They're happy to rip you off. And it's beautiful. It makes New South Wales go. Makes it the financial capital of Australia, and it's has a shithouse transport system, and the mismatch in wealth is phenomenal. And there's also racial ghettos there, but it's Sydney. It's Sydney. Sydney's fucked. I'm not going there. I don't like Sydney. Yeah. Mind you, I've just upset a lot of the people watching the live stream, and they're going to kill me. So they should.
I don't think anyone's going to protect New South Wales Liberal or Labor. You'd have to be a bit of a sado to.
You have to be fucking really out of there. Please, as you're making a Rum Rebellion, would you explain to us what the Rum Rebellion was?
I'm going to explain to you what a Rum Rebellion cocktail is. My version of it is anyway. It's rum. It's falernum, which is a relative of rum. So they're going to rebel with one another. It's banana liqueur. A little bit of banana liqueur in here. Hi, Rena. How you doing, by the way? Safa also wants to know, who do we think's more corrupt, New South Wales or Ukraine? I don't know Ukraine well enough to comment.
That's a fucking dodgy one. Ukraine's fairly corrupt, but it's delineated. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a line between who wants what. Yeah. But in New South Wales, it's all concealed. No one knows shit about what's going on unless you're in the they call it the joke. Do you know the joke, or are you in on the joke? And if you're in on the joke, you know what's going on. If you're not in on the joke, then you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it can also get you killed. But I'm not going to talk about that bit.
No. Crime in New South Wales, organised crime got entrenched by the Liberal Premier Askin, and then got industrialised by the Labor Premier Rann, and she's been there ever since. So a Rum Rebellion cocktail. Ooh, look at that colour. So
look at that colour.
It's a great colour. Very tropical. So it's rum, falernum. My version of it is rum, falernum, banana liqueur, cherry liqueur, and some pineapple coconut juice. So,
how's it taste?
Oh, like a tropical party. My word.
Good one. Is it easing the scratchy throat?
That was my thinking. So yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Is it working for you, or?
Well, I had one sip. I don't know yet. Yeah.
But you know how sometimes you can have a sip and then you just go, yes, I can tell that this is doing the thing.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Because
So
when I was having, sorry,
I was just going to do. You can say something because I'm going to tell people about the Rum Rebellion. You can jump in
I
before
was
I.
just going to say when I had the smoke inhalation thing,
Yeah.
and my throat was just had razor blades in it, I'd
Mm,
have this. What this is water
mm,
with Barocca, just a cheap Barocca put
yeah.
in to flavour it, and it's just the most simple thing. It's in a pop top lid because it fizzes up and it'll actually pop the top when it's ready. But if you don't have a lid, it'll fizz out and go on your computer keyboard. So
Mm.
it's really good. And it was fucking heaven on making my throat not hurt.
Oh,
What I've
good.
also found is it puts color in my skin and
Ah,
gives
yes.
me actual vitamins. Look out.
That's good.
Um,
Good.
but it's just really good for you. I imagine so what I was going to say was sometimes you can tell straight away whether a drink is going to
Yeah.
help with your throat, and
Yeah.
this one was straight away. It was like, yeah, this is going to help because it was grinding down the razor blades immediately. So I wish all blessings on
Good.
the Rum Rebellion cocktail
Okay.
so that it helps your throat. Tell us about the Rum Rebellion, Angry.
Yes. So interestingly, Safa's asking, was colonial Australians refused alcohol like US prohibition? Well, the early colonists were convicts, and so it was frowned upon, but it got there. And the Rum Rebellion of 1808 was the only successful armed takeover of government in Australian history. During the 19th century, it was widely referred to in Australia as the Great Rebellion. On the 26th of January, 1808, 20 years after Arthur Phillip's first fleet of convicts founded Sydney, the New South Wales Corps, under the command of Major George Johnson, working closely with John Macarthur, deposed the Governor of New South Wales, William Bligh. Yes, he of Mutiny on the Bounty fame.
How's fucking William Bligh's fucking how is his fucking 10 years of career, right? So
Yeah.
the first thing the poor prick does is get himself fucking mutinied off his ship and he has to drive in the Pacific all the way to Jakarta, right? In a boat, in an open boat. What a fuck. Then he goes back to England, right, and says, these pricks did this. You've got to hang them. They don't even find them. Then they go, no, it's all good because you're going to Fiji, right?
Yeah.
To do a bit of soldiering there. He gets to Fiji. Basically, the locals go, oh, you were going to give us presents. And they went, well, yeah, but we're English, so we're just going to shoot you instead. And the locals go, well, what we're going to do is kill you and eat you.
Yeah.
So then they had to fuck off. And then he goes to Australia. This is all in 10 years. Goes to Australia and gets fucked over again. What a career.
Well,
What a
yeah.
career.
See, so Bligh, the mutiny on the Bounty was because Bligh was so fucking harsh and strict. And there's a suspicion he was made governor of New South Wales because he was so hard and strict. Because it was a tough fucking job. They needed someone who was a bastard. But he was too much of a bastard and he started to rankle people. So finding the real problem was with a guy called John Macarthur, who's on our money. William Bligh's not on our money. John Macarthur is. Or was. I don't even remember who's on the money now, but Macarthur was on the money at one point anyway. So Macarthur arrived in New South Wales in 1790 as a lieutenant. By 1805, he was a farmer, had commercial interests, and he had gotten fights with the previous governors, had fought 3 duels. So he was a bit fucking belligerent, basically. So Bligh and Macarthur had a few clashes. Bligh stopped Macarthur from cheaply distributing large quantities of rum into the Corps, which we get the Rum Rebellion from. He halted Macarthur's allegedly illegal importation of stills to make more rum. Macarthur's interest in an area of land granted to him by previous governor conflicted with Bly's town planning interests, and they had a bunch of other disagreements.
May we pause here?
Yes.
And may we suggest that incident of the town planning and the land interests might have been the trigger for all the rest of this shit.
Yeah.
Because there was some economic interest on both sides here. And effectively in New South Wales, if you had the Corps, the soldiers, they were the police, they were the soldiers, and they fucking kept the convicts under control. If you had control of the Corps, you had control of effectively Australia.
Yes.
So whatever you did, you needed to control the Corps. Bly took his fucking eye off the ball, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he got fucking greedy. Bly got fucking greedy.
Well, he got MacArthur arrested.
Yeah.
He got MacArthur arrested. He's going to bring him to trial, but the court was unknown to Bly. The court was stacked in MacArthur's favour. The chief judge hated MacArthur, but the 6 other members of the court were friends of MacArthur. So they said, nah, fuck it, and the whole thing fell apart. And Bly accused the 6 officers of what amounted to mutiny, summoned Major George Johnson to come and deal with the matter. Johnson said he wasn't feeling well. Oh, and I'd wrecked my horse carriage just the day before, so I'm honestly not up to arresting that guy that I like and you don't.
So, and also, I'm honestly not up to arresting that guy that's been fucking handing out favours to the Corps, and you haven't. Fucking Bly did not hand out the wealth to the Corps. See, these guys, right? You've got to understand, it's New South Wales, right? If you're a convict, you are basically eating shit. If you are a settler / fucking politician, you are in charge of a fucking country. All right. New South Wales was a state, a country for a long time. And effectively all the money is coming to you. Right. You've got basically the discretionary fucking spending power of a fucking god king. And MacArthur deliberately fucking spread the wealth deliberately so that he could get all kinds of, he could get his fucking sheep moved. He could get his fucking customs fucking ignored. He could get fucking his supplies taken over the mountains before anyone else's supplies, because there's only one lane. And taking his supplies over the mountains took fucking forever. But if you fucking, you knew the right people and you were mates, hey, your stuff got through. So basically, MacArthur was very good at greasing the right fucking palms. Welcome to fucking New South Wales. Welcome to
started
Sydney.
that far back.
It's always worked the same way. And fucking Bly, who was a fucking idiot, he was a fucking idiot, basically had the same money, but he put it in his own account. That was the problem. Everyone knew that Bly had the cash to make this work. And he just said, oh, you got to do it because it's your job. And it's like, no, it wasn't fucking people's job. It wasn't people's job. People's job was fucking mason. People's job was fucking carpenter, right? Hauling stone and fucking doing extra framework on other town usefulnesses was not their fucking job. It was a favour for the civic good. You throw them a consideration. But Bly, no. You got to do it because it's your job. Well, fuck you, Bly. Guess what's going to happen next? That wasn't the problem. What happened next was, please, Angry, take it away.
Well, anyway, so that court was on the 25th. MacArthur was brought up to court in the 25th of January, and it all fell apart because the court was full of his mates. And Bly was very upset, and the officer he wanted to arrest MacArthur wouldn't do it. And then Pretty quick smart. On the morning of the 26th, 1808, Bligh again ordered that MacArthur be arrested and ordered the return of court papers. The Corps responded with a request for a new judge advocate and the release of MacArthur on bail. Bligh summoned officers to Government House to answer charges made by the judge. He informed Major Johnson that he considered the action of the officers of the Corps to be treasonable. Johnson instead had gone to the jail and issued an order releasing MacArthur, who drafted a petition calling for Johnson to arrest Bligh and take charge of the colony. And the petition was signed by officers of the Corps, other prominent citizens. But there's a theory that most of the signatures were only added after Bligh was under house arrest. Like after he was actually out of the way, people go, oh yeah, I'll sign on and saying that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Because they were scared of Bligh while he was still in power. So
well, I mean, it could have gone either way. It could
Yeah.
have gone either way, and there was a lot at stake. You know, you got to remember you're living a colony life, right? If
Yeah.
you fuck up, everyone knows you. There is nowhere to
Yeah.
go. The only place to go is into the bush, and you better fucking learn an indigenous language real fast if you want to fucking survive out there. Because basically there's no support system for you to be. So if Bligh got up and your signature was on that fucking petition, you're fucked. If MacArthur got up and your signature's on that petition, you know, for Bligh, you're fucked. So basically, yes, the common theory is that it was a consolidation of power once they had Bligh under house arrest.
Yeah. So at 6 p.m. on January 26th, 1808, the Corps with full band and colours marched to Government House to arrest Bligh. They were hindered by Bligh's daughter and her parasol, which I wish I knew more about that. Wikipedia just says hindered by Bligh's daughter and her parasol. And that seems to be a story in and of itself, as far as I'm concerned.
I've hindered with a parasol.
I've
hindered with a parasol a few times.
Yeah.
You can open that bugger in strange places, and you'll be very, very impressed at how quickly men will run away.
Yeah. But Captain Thomas Laycock finally found Bligh in full dress uniform behind his bed, where he claimed he was hiding papers. This, incidentally, led to Australia's oldest surviving political cartoon. I'm going to show it to you.
It is a fucking beauty too.
Let me show you this. Okay, so you can see in this one, the Corps are actually dragging Bligh out from beneath his bed. And that's not what the official record said, but this is obviously making Bligh look like a piece of shit and a coward, hiding under his bed from the good men of the Corps. So that's why I'm having a drink called a Rum Rebellion, because we're almost at Rum Rebellion Day.
We are almost at Rum Rebellion Day. And so, yeah, the actual Rum Rebellion was about Bligh trying to block alcohol to the Corps and trying, because, you know, his problem was, the Corps is pissed all the time. They're on rum all the time and they're pissed all the time. It's like, well, yeah, they were, and they were adults and they had time off. So I don't know about you, Bligh, but when I want to watch Channel 9 on my day off, I don't mind having a few fucking tinnies. Rum was the drink that they could get into Australia from anywhere with sugar grown, and rum kept really well in kegs. So it was also the traditional British maritime drink. Remember that the Corps was the Marine Corps. They were basically ship-based soldiers. And yeah, they were Marines. So the Marine drink, the sailors' drink, is rum. So they were used to drinking rum. And when Bligh said you can't have any more rum, they went, and fuck you. And when Bligh said you can't have any more stills, they went, fuck you further. And then when Bligh said, I'm keeping all the money for myself, they said, right, MacArthur, what do you feel about being governor? MacArthur was going, I could do that. I could do that well. Can I have some more sheep? Fuck yes, my man. Can have some more sheep and that land that the town council want to take off you. We're on. So Sydney's a funny place because when you go there, there's a grid, and then it starts to follow the lines of the contours of the actual land, and so it smashes together. There's all this whole bunch of streets that are all curly and fucked up because they smash a grid and a contour together, and it's like the weirdest place to navigate. Get off at Central Station and walk one way. It's a grid. Walk the other way. It's a weird spaghetti junction. My family were brought out from Germany to look after MacArthur's vineyard cellars originally. That's what I've been told, anyways. I'd believe it. I'd believe it. Fucking, I'd be brought out from Germany to look after a vineyard if I could. Shit, can you imagine coming from Europe to Australia in the early 1800s? Fuck, that'd be good. That'd be good. Because Australia's just about got its social shit together. Like its infrastructure, and it's learning how to grow food really well to the point where it's starting to export it. The population's starting to get, the white population starting to get big enough now that it can support itself rather than having to get imported luxury goods from other places. You've got enough you've got enough artisans here to do the stuff you need. So coming out from Europe in the 1800s would be fucking it'd be all right, actually.
Yeah, I know Saf had been asking, were convicts allowed alcohol? I quickly looked it up, and there was a period where convicts were partially paid with rum. And
That's right.
As you were saying, the distribution of rum was part of the lead up to the Rum Rebellion. Looking at this other interesting thing with the causes, saying cause was essentially, it was the culmination of a long-running tussle for power between the government and private enterprise, a fight over the future and nature of the colony. Early governors wanted to keep New South Wales a large-scale open prison with a primitive economy based on yeoman ex-convict run by government fiat. Almost no one at the time thought the rebellion was about rum. Bligh briefly tried to give it that spin to smear his opponents, but there was no evidence for it, and he moved on. Many years later, in 1855, an English Quaker named William Howard published A Popular History of Australia. Like many teetotalers, he was keen to blame alcohol for all the problems in the world. He took Bligh's side and invented the phrase rum rebellion. So that's who invented the phrase. But there was definitely a thing with Bligh wanting complete government control over what happened, and MacArthur and others going, fuck no, we want to run everything, rum for everyone, woo.
Well, it was basically the philosophical thing of king and pope versus man and law. It was that philosophical thing. Basically, the colony had got to the point where it no longer needed to be a fully government shut prison, one organization. Didn't need that anymore, right? And the industrialists that were here were going, well, hang on, I'm fucking paying for everything here. I'm generating all of the exports and I'm generating all of the tax. And this government just wants to make this by its own decree, whatever prison it wants, whatever fucking conditions it wants. And then the rum thing was a symbol. It was just a symbol
Yeah.
of what the government could by decree do, and
Yeah.
everybody drank rum. Like fucking everybody drank rum. Like I said, they were adults,
Yes.
and then the government goes, "Oh, you can't have any rum," and the the industrialists and the local free economists were going, "This is fucking bullshit." The government keeps on just decreeing stuff without fucking um, without consulting the people who have to make it go, and then fucking not paying us to do it and then taxing us. They can maybe fuck off, and that's what happened.
Mm.
And there's been that tension in New South Wales ever since.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, effectively, it's been
Yeah.
going.
Another interesting thing was the British authorities basically took Bly's side, and they weren't. Bly was such a fucking angry motherfucker. They weren't interested in his ranting and raving. But when MacArthur complained about X, Y, Z, the general upshot was, "Fuck you, man." He was the governor. But the people who were punished, like the military commander that Bly wanted court-martialed, he did go to court-martial. He was cashiered, which was the minimum possible punishment for being found guilty of what was essentially mutiny. It's just like, okay, cashiered, like you're actually paid out. You're not in the military
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
There's no punishment. And he owned, his estate was Annandale, which is now in
Oh,
a western suburb.
oh,
And
right.
MacArthur was held up in England for a bit longer because he refused to ever admit he did anything wrong. Whereas the officer said, "Yeah, I ignored the governor's office orders, which I know was mutiny, essentially."
Technically mutiny
And so
because it was.
MacArthur just apparently spent the whole time going, "Fuck you all." And they kept him in England for a couple of years, but about 5 years later, he returned to Australia and ended up
But
on our money, as I was saying.
the thing about MacArthur, which was interesting and different too, was he was a major exporter of wool. He was a
Yes.
major exporter of meat. He was a major exporter of flax, which
Yeah.
doesn't sound like a big deal, but they make linen and sails out of it, which was a big deal. He was a major primary production exporter, and a lot of his argument in Britain was, why are you fucking hassling me when you are quite fucking happy to take my goods, but you're not fucking happy about how I made them happen? So why don't you go fuck yourself, or fucking don't buy my shit, because
Yeah.
Russia will buy it, fucking
Yeah.
Germany will buy it. Why are you fucking jumping up and down saying, "Oh, you're bad," but we will buy all this flax because we need it? Like,
Yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah.
I had to do this and this to make it, and now
Yeah.
you're fucking complaining about how it was made. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And that's why he got held up. He did win though. They did let
Yeah.
him
Oh,
go.
yeah. No, he came
It
back.
was like,
He was essentially credited with breeding merino sheep, which was
yes,
um,
yes,
the most hardy sheep that really liked Australia. He
yep,
was on the $2 note. I just looked it up, which we
yep.
don't have anymore. So that's why he's not on the money anymore. But he used to be on the $2 note. We have $2 coins now. $5 note's our lowest note. I was going to say
Yes.
paper, but it's not paper. It's plastic.
Plastic, yeah.
So Betty Windsor is on the plastic $5, or Caboodle Schnitzer, or whatever her real name actually is.
It's not Caboodle Schnitzer. It's bloody
It's Saxo.
it's Saxagotha, bloody it's the name of every second fucking street in
Schicklgruber. No, that was him.
Melbourne, which is Brunswick. Saxagotha, Brunswick.
I'm just looking at Windsor, German name.
They turned into
Saxo-Coburg and Gotha. There you go.
That's it. Coburg, yeah.
Coburg. You live near Coburg, don't you?
I live near Coburg. I'm royal.
Yeah.
effectively, they changed their name as it was looking like World War One was about to start. So they went, we're Windsor now. We're not German.
Because of the
German would be shit.
German sentiment, they thought maybe we should sound less German.
Yeah.
See, this is why
This
Sally likes watching us.
is way better than anything on Netflix. It's like a documentary with loads of swearing with compliments of the Aussiness of the story. Thank you, Sally. That's really nice. And not fucked at all. That's
No.
really very nice.
Yeah.
It is a bit
Light
like a documentary.
too, so that's nice. I mean,
Hmm.
the yeah, it's hilarious the degree to which the British royal family names just invented. Like their official name's Windsor, and they just invented that in the early 20th century. Huh? And when Elizabeth married Phil de Greek, because his name's Mountbatten, and he wanted the family name to be Mountbatten because he was the man, but the royal courtiers and won't get fucked. The Mountbattens are a bunch of fucking wankers. The royal family is not going to be called Mount, which Phil never got over that, I don't think. But they just said, yeah, you're the prince consort, not the king.
Yeah, that was the thing. Phil thought, oh, it's good I'm marrying a queen. I'm going to be sort of a king. And then when he did, they fucking made it very fucking clear you are the prince consort.
Yeah.
You are not a king. You are not fucking political in any way. Your job is to fuck the queen. Which is why when Bill Clinton got in trouble for rooting a intern, bloody what's the name? Hillary got into quite a bit of shit because basically she said something about something, and they and there was a little bit of backlash because they basically said, "Don't say a fucking word. Your only job as first lady is to blow the president." Which is what you've not fucking done, and all this shit's gone down. So don't you say a fucking thing about it. We don't want to hear your fucking words. Don't want to fucking see you. Don't fucking say anything about apologies. The only person who apologise is you fucking slow loser. Why you're paid, we don't know. We might fucking cashier you. See, I used a word.
Yeah, you can't hear.
See what I did? I did a callback. I used a word that I found and did a callback. So basically, yeah, same thing happened with Phil. But they made it fucking obvious. They said to him, "Now look, mate, it's like this. There are two chairs in the main palace room of the Buckingham Palace, of the main courtier's room. There are two chairs. There's one for ER and there's one for PD sitting there, and they're basically the thrones for the Queen and the Duke, and they've been sat on exactly once after the coronation, and that's it. Never been sat on. Thrones have never been sat on again, which was a decision made by the Queen, not the fucking royal people, the establishment. It was her. She said, no, that's not how this is run. It's a fucking royal democracy. What do they call it? Not a royal democracy.
Constitutional monarchy.
Constitutional monarchy. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a constitutional monarchy. You've got your photo op, and now it's time to do the actual job.
Yeah.
And she calls the royal family the firm, as in the company. It's got a job to do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And they do. Interesting lately to see this thing with Harry and his wife fucking off to America.
Yes.
I have a. Sorry?
They've just decided, yeah, no, this is bullshit. This killed my mum. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm out. I have a feeling he's going to join the military when he's over there. There is a joint
He could.
British American regiment that is a symbolic, strengthening of this special relationship.
Yeah.
Now, he is a soldierly type individual, and if he
Yeah.
joined that, he could basically heal all of the rifts all at once, because he could basically stay in America as an American. He could basically declare that he hadn't abandoned Britain, and
Yeah.
he could soldier it up, basically saying that he was in defense of the nations that he was responsible for.
Yeah.
And that would make all the shit go away. And I think he's going to do that. And I think she's going to simply turn around and say, I am a soldier's wife. That's all I am. So go fuck yourself.
Or she could go back to acting or whatever. Saf saying they're in Canada anyway, aren't they? Yeah, I think you are actually correct, because she has family in the United States and Canada. And yeah, it's weird because so Canada's still part of the empire, technically.
It is indeed. It is indeed. It is indeed. He could join the Canadian fucking any Canadian regiment, and it would all fucking work out fine.
But you know, you could. I reckon he'll be a consultant rather than actually in the military. Like work for one of the private companies that fucking sells to the military. That'll make him a fortune. He'll just people saying, "Oh, you'll miss the bloody taxpayer money." No, he won't. He can
No, he
make as
won't.
much money as he wanted to in 5 seconds flat. The idea that he would ever have any trouble with money is absolutely
It's
ridiculous.
just a joke. He personally organized more money than all of the kid royals get as a yearly pay. He organized more money than that. So you're talking about all the grandchildren, yeah? From him and his brother and all them, yeah? So he organized more money than they all got to set up the Invictus Games, and he did it in 3 months. He basically went and got all that cash in 3 months and said, fucking, here it is. We have all of the fucking money that we need backing for.
Yeah.
And then he's rung up Obama and said, okay, this is on. Fucking join in, help us out. And Invictus Games is now a thing. So yeah, no, the guy's not going to be fucking screaming for cash because he knows how to make a bob. And it wasn't fucking. See, this is the thing. Everyone says, "Oh, it was him getting donations." No, it wasn't him getting donations.
No.
It was him fucking squeezing fucking business opportunities that he and others had set up previously.
Yes.
Effectively, it was his cash that he had made but hadn't cashed in. There were some donations. But there was no way all donations. No fucking way. Over half of it was his dough. So no, he's not going to fucking worry about taxpayer money. It's not going to be a problem.
Wife could just go back to acting and earning $1 million an episode of shows, or work in media and make millions. The idea that they'll be hard up for money is fucking ridiculous.
Bullshit.
I'm going to make another drink with some Pims because I got some Pims.
Damn, I was hoping you'd stay for 5 seconds so that I could leave
I don't know what it is with your timing with wanting to go every time but give like 30 seconds and then I'll be back.
Yeah, you're right. Do your thing, man. I'm going to just fucking hang out and be the dude.
Back in my tropical island. Here we go. All right, now I've got.
I'm loving your tropical island. I'm loving shit out of your tropical island. I'm thinking tropical island is the go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm bailing. I'll be back in a sec.
Hang something blue or green. you.
I'm going to make my thing mute so it doesn't scream at you.
All right, that's a good idea. So we'll let Aidsy wander off for a while. You can see that I haven't properly set up my portable green screen, but I only thought of doing this 5 seconds before coming live. I'll try and be more organized next time. So I'm doing a variation on a Pim's cup, which is like a traditional thing to do there. I'm going to do, this is my blood orange flavored vodka infused with a blood orange fruit tea. Put that in. It's very purpley red. It's probably going to be very dark. And Pimm's, just like a liqueur based off, herbal liqueur based off gin. And lemon's usually something to put in. So I'm going to put some of my lemon lime juice in here. Tangy with a zest for life. That's me. Voice is fading. That's not great. I'm going to have to talk to people at work tomorrow. Now, this is improvised, so I'm going to do a little taste test to see if it needs anything else. Spin that right round like a record. I'm so sophisticated, taste testing it by sticking my finger in it. It's not bad. I might put the tiniest bit of sweetener in here, agave syrup, just a little bit. And spin that right round like a record. Like a record, baby, right round. Giving away my age somewhat there. Who remembers that little ditty? Oh yeah, that's it. So seeing that I've done the vodka with the blood orange flavor, I'll call this a bloody Pim's cup. Time for a bloody Pim's cup. Oh, Sally, if I get laryngitis, try talking in different key like a falsetto. Sometimes I don't know if you... I have not been able to do falsetto. I was a very good boy soprano, actually, and my voice broke. I know maybe if I talk like this, I think Sally might be onto something. I'll just do the rest of the live stream as an opera. That might wear a bit thin after a while. We're talking about brown shower, which is a bit of a worry. Yes, a dust storm and a rainstorm met and rained dirty rain. Everything's very dirty. Hey, Annette, how you doing? So, yes, I posted some pictures online today. Basically, when the rain fell, everywhere the rain fell, the puddles were full of red-brown dirt. And then the rain evaporated, and there's a layer of red-brown dirt on everything. Everywhere's filthy, basically. It's a golden age for contract cleaners. So it's, weird old time. It's not limited to like dust storms have been going everywhere from Western New South Wales all the way down through country Victoria as well. And it's just the nature of the beast these days is very, very weird weather we are having. I think I do need to talk like a soprano for a while. I probably don't have to sing song when I do it like this, but for some reason I'm compelled to, and I can't stop doing it as a sing song. Oh, that's very weird. I don't know why. I was the whole time I was trying, can I just talk in that? Like, nah, I have to sing. I have to sing if I'm doing that. It's very weird. Yes, yes, Fox. You make a good point. It's almost like the deforestation from the fires has loosened the dirt. And Scummo, in his fabulous wisdom, said, "Oh, you know what we should do? We should clear more land, so there's more dust and more drought and less habitat for animals." I swear to fucking God, how that guy manages to do exactly the wrong thing is absolutely mind blowing. Absolutely does my head in that that piece of shit can move from doing nothing to the horror of everyone in Australia to doing exactly the wrong thing. We all thought nothing was the worst that he could do, but no, he can choose to do the worst thing imaginable. Oh no, that's right. You've just come in. The StreamYard, the service I use to stream from, just introduced green screen support. So I've got a portable green screen behind me. I haven't set it up properly, so there's only a bit of it. When AIDSy comes back and we'll shift our screen, my green screen looks a bit more convincing. But you can see that it's just there. I mean, if I show, where are we? The different settings. Oh, what am I doing? See, that's what actually looks like. It's just this material. It's a portable thingy. But then when you actually go, ooh, look, and I could do that, and then I'm gone. It's just the thing. We don't want that. And then I come back. Yeah, I'm a ghost. But yes, there we go. So yes, I have a green screen, slightly dodgy green screen going on. Lemonhead, how bad is Scummo Loathed? I have seen a number of conservative commentators saying they're stunned at how badly Scummo is fucking up. They haven't stopped supporting him, but they're mortified at the degree to which he's fucking up. And yes, Lion Spider, PM shit my pants. For those who don't know, very popular Australian rumor, urban legend. Scummo shit his pants at Engadine McDonald's back in those. My voice is going. I can't even do my falsetto anymore. There we go. There are some working vocal cords. I have some vocal cords that work if I do a little bit of sing-song. But my ability to talk is getting limited. I am not going to do this at work tomorrow. If I can't talk, I will just hold a sign up saying, I can't talk. I am not going to sing my conversations in a workplace. That would be weird. So yeah, hopefully I don't have the Chinese flu. What are they calling that particular one? Coronavirus. Is this gonna be the one that kills us all? I don't. Charlie, you want me to just whisper? Make it nice, ASMR stream. I've got my microphone. I could just whisper, and it's an ASMR stream. AIDSy always said he'd disown me if I did ASMR, but maybe I could. Who knows? Lions Buddy is saying Scummo actually addressed the shit his pants thing at a talk, raised it and said no one will know what really happened. Yes, Joshua. Scummo.
Hello, I'm back. I'm back. Oh, I'm back.
Right. There you are.
You love me, I'm back.
We're just into
Yes, now it's down. Now you can hear me.
Scummo.
Hi. How you doing? Thanks for letting me be on your device, even though it's very quickly not going to be your device anymore.
I was whispering and saying you would disown me for doing ASMR. Adele agrees. She hates ASMR as well.
Good on you, Adele. Adele, you and me are fucking right in there with ASMR being a fucking wank for fucking people with too much fucking YouTube on their hands.
I'm going to make one because I saw this one that I thought was really funny. I really liked it. It was something from Adult Swim. It's an animated thing, and I don't even know the character, but it was such and such talks you to sleep for 10 hours, and it's a 10-hour video, animated video of this weird character just saying weird stuff. So I want to, it'll take a while to record 10 hours of it, but I want to record Angry Aussie talks you to sleep for 10 hours because I know lots of people have insomnia or whatnot. I just went up there and I won't be ASMR, but I'll be talking gently. So, hey,
Well, do you know what will actually work better than ASMR?
what?
Well, if you speak for 2 minutes, like a normal story, like a narrative story for 2 minutes, and then for 1 minute, you start to drop out every third or fourth word into a nonsensical non sequitur word. Yeah. So I was walking to the tree hat fountain. And then I saw a goblin who was dancing a jig. And so I gave him 4 coins to tell him to stop. Red happy tree. So what you do then after the next minute is you
Yeah,
just start doing non sequitur words,
yeah,
one after the other, and you say them in sentence structure,
mm,
but
mm,
you just say no words that make any sense at all together. And what that does is it puts people into a hypnagogic state in the first section, and in the last section, it takes the hypnagogic state and
right.
puts them into a dream sleep state straight
Okay.
away. Yeah.
Have you ever heard? I'm just looking them up to make sure I get it right. I'm sure. I think they were the Three Kinsmen. Have you ever heard of like a 50s, 60s, the Four Kinsmen?
I have heard the Four Kinsmen.
My dad had a Four Kinsmen album, and you saying that just reminded me. One I remember is My Hat It Has Three Corners, and these guys sing like barbershop sort of harmonies.
Yeah.
My hat it has three corners has my hat, and had it not 3 corners, it would not be my hat. And then the next verse is My hat it has three ear has my hat, and had it not 3 ear, it would not be my hat. And they replace the words one by one with a weird sound.
Gotcha.
And it's not a recorded sound, it's a sound they make. And
Yes.
so it goes
Yes.
from all lyrics to just all weird noises.
Yeah, totally.
It's beautifully surreal.
Yeah, no, and it was a big thing at the end of the Second World War
Yeah.
and right through into the mid late 50s. It was a big deal to make those kinds of songs because remember, music was still very much a live thing.
Yeah.
And bands would play live all night.
Yeah.
But then they would have the fun song because they'd be expected to do a turn, and that making a noise song, a foolish noise song, was
Yeah.
very, very popular, extremely popular, because it was something that the band could do, and the audience, if they were fans of the band, could join in. You could have a sing song with noises, and you don't have to sing really well to make as a noise, and so everyone can join in for fun. Because remember, everyone's half pissed at this point too. Very, 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 very popular thing.
I just looked them up, and this is the thing I didn't realize they're Australian.
Yeah.
In 1962, Bernard Mahoney and one of his siblings, Adrian, joined up with the brothers Peter and George Fay to form the Four Kinsmen. They were on a TV show called Kevin Dennis Auditions, with some talent show, which they ended up winning. In 1963, they were given a spot on Graham Kennedy's In Melbourne Tonight, which was a fucking huge show.
Massive. Massive.
In
As long as you didn't talk about crows.
Yeah. 1960. Fuck. In 1964, they recorded their first single. They got more TV, and then they went to England to get famous.
I was going to say they went to England and stayed there.
In 1968, they came back to Australia as seasoned professionals. 1975, they got a Mo Award. 1978, they were on the Bob Hope Show. And they fade out. But yeah, their big time was in the 60s and early 70s. And they were technically good singers. It was a little bit novelty type stuff what they did, but they were. Oh, Adele says we've talked her through 2 levels of Kingdom Hearts. So good on us.
We work hard. We work solid, and we work cooperatively. If you need a few levels of Kingdom Hearts to be talked through, we are you guys. We are you guys. I'm just pointing my theory at the right direction.
Little bit of trivia. Like, here's my block of ice. Like most ice, if you go, it's cloudy. It's got air bubbles in it and whatnot. But it's clearer than some ice. And I saw a video today. I found a couple new YouTube channels that do interesting stuff with cocktails and other things. And one of them, they like making clear ice, because that's a big thing. How do you make clear ice? Because if you just freeze ice, it's very cloudy and has air bubbles. And there's an idea that boiling it or using distilled water, and that doesn't work. And there's some idea of refreezing it works. And I've tried like that, freezing it and then partially, and that doesn't work. I've tried that. But I know for bars that want clear ice, there are specific machines that form ice in a particular way that pushes it up. But that's a very specific machine you have to get. These guys showed a real low-tech, cheap way to do it. You get a little insulated esky, either one small enough to fit in your freezer or bigger if you have a huge fucking freezer, and you take the top off. Heist, Cocktail Chemistry. It was them and a guy called Modern Rogues or something. God, Heist knew exactly who I was talking about. And there's this technique. You get an esky and you rip the top off and you fill it with water and put it in a freezer. And what that does, because it's insulated on all sides, it can only freeze from the top down. And what that does is, as it freezes down, it pushes all the impurities down.
Yes.
And then you cut the bottom bit off. You either just don't let it freeze, so it's water at the bottom, and cut it off. Or if it's frozen, just the last little bit is the bit with the impurities, and you just cut that off, and you get perfectly clear ice, which looks great in drinks because it just kind of vanishes into the drink. Fox, that's another thing. If you have a machine that can agitate the water as it freezes, that will make it clear.
Yes.
Everyone knows now. Heist knows Cocktail Chemistry and Modern Rogue. Alexander knows Modern Rogue. Yeah, I literally tonight discovered them. Never heard of either of those channels before. They're both quite big channels, but YouTube being what it is, someone can go, I watch Channel X, and it's got 10 million subscribers. I've literally never heard of it. And I'm like a YouTube tragic. And someone could have, I'm not even joking, someone can have 10 million subscribers. I've never heard of them.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
The platform is so big.
Bloody
I remember Fred was the first channel to hit 1 million subscribers. And that was a huge thing. And people thought he was unbeatable. And he got superseded within 6 months or whatever. But, you got like PewDiePie up around 100 million subscribers now. It's just, the numbers are just insane. Like, seriously, it was this huge milestone when Fred was the first person to hit 1 million subscribers. If you had 1 million subscribers now, you're not even close to the top 100 channels on YouTube. It's
It
it's it's
is.
absolutely
It is
wild.
incredible. Also was kind of fascinated by the hate that started to happen to PewDiePie, just out of the fact that he was PewDiePie. Like
Yeah.
he was huge. He was number one, right? I
Hmm.
think he still is, right? He's number one. He'd been number one for a while, and then just out of nowhere, the criticisms came
No, they're
from
not out of
nothing.
nowhere. PewDiePie repeatedly slipped. He promoted actual fucking Nazi channels, racists. He used racial slurs when he was gaming as an insult, calling people niggers when he didn't like them. And he uh, he's just oblivious to things like that. He is the third most subscribed YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not really even independent anymore. But the only ones ahead of him are the generic music channel and an Indian music label called T Series. So that's
Makes sense. Yeah.
he's like the top YouTuber, 100 million. So if I scroll down the top 100, 100th most subscribed has 23 fucking million subscribers.
Wow.
To crack into the top 100, you have to have 20 fucking 3 million subscribers. That's
Wow.
insane.
That's insane, isn't it? I didn't know PewDiePie had been fucking a goose.
Not once nor
Uh,
twice. And and I actually get where he was coming as a joke. There were things, like I don't know if you know sites like Fiverr and whatnot, where if you pay, it's like you find someone, they say, I will do something for you, and it's usually for a cheap amount of money. That's why it's
yeah.
called Fiverr, for like $5. And as the two things he got people to do that he thought was a really funny joke. He got these two guys from India, and I think he only paid them $5, and they held up a sign saying "Kill all the Jews," and he was just blown away that they would do it. And there was this other guy who looks like stereotype white Jesus, and he says, "Pay me, and I will say whatever you want." In the guise of Jesus. And so PewDiePie paid him a very small amount of money to say, Hitler did nothing wrong. He sits at my father's right hand as the most favored angel in heaven. And it's like, because he wouldn't believe people would actually do that just for a really small amount of money. But then people said, like, dude, it's not exactly cool. And when people were like defending him and saying, just jokes, I said, look, I get it. And I get why you think it's funny. But the fact that people
No.
getting rejected. Imagine like Blue's Clues if there wasn't a whole studio behind it. Just for a laugh, imagine the guy behind Blue's Clues got to put whatever he wanted to air. He got to put whatever he wanted to air without any oversight,
Yeah.
which is what you get to do on YouTube. And
Yeah.
and
That's
say,
right.
Blue's Clues, get the mail, Blue. What's in the mail? And Blue comes in with a letter going, row, row, row. What's today's mail, Blue? And he takes it and opens it up, and it says, kill all the Jews. And he's like, Blue, how could you? Now, first, piss funny, okay? To do that on a kid's show. But that guy's never working again for really fucking
Yeah.
good reason.
Yeah.
So the idea that PewDiePie shouldn't suffer any repudiate, and he hasn't suffered at all, honestly. Fucking 100 million subscribers. The guy has coined in.
That's a lot of fucking margin. That is
Yeah,
a
he
lot of
coined in
fucking margin.
tens of millions of dollars. The PewDiePie empire has coined in hundreds of millions of dollars, but he personally has seen tens of millions of dollars go into his bank account. So I don't lose any fucking sleep for him whatsoever.
No.
But yeah.
But also too, all right, you've also got at the other end of the spectrum the Paul brothers. who
they're
are
fucking job ends.
hideous, who are
They're
fucking
job ends.
hideous, who are fucking abominable human beings.
Yes. They're way worse
And
than PewDiePie. Yeah.
sorry?
They are way worse than PewDiePie.
Oh, they're fucking way worse than fucking disease.
Yeah.
You know, they have not they have thoughtlessly done fucking terrible things, but
Yeah.
they have deliberately done fucking terrible things. And I just don't know why some of their criminal actions aren't taken more seriously. The Japanese forest.
Oh yeah,
It is
actually,
illegal to do that shit. It is
yeah,
illegal to go in there. It is illegal to make images
yeah,
of people who have died in the
yeah,
suicide forest. It's just illegal to do. So, the Japanese government is, a bit jaily about
yes,
things that you do wrong.
yeah,
So how the fuck they got out of that, I do not know. I
yeah,
know he had to do the big sorry, and that Japan's very big on the sorry.
yeah,
But
yeah.
fucking yeah,
I tell you what, it's
not
10 o'clock, and I'm gonna go to bed because I'm
right,
dying. But
because you've got
you know what I'm gonna sign off with? Because I actually looked up. Guess how many subscribers the 500th biggest YouTube channel has?
had no idea.
10.5 million.
Wow. Okay, well we've got to become the 400th.
The 10 million subscribers
Yeah, we
does
can do
not
it.
get you into the top 500.
Yeah, no, we can do it. We can do top 400. We can get that done. We'll have to get an Instagram channel with makeup tutorials, but we can get it done.
Interestingly, it's only incremental. The 400th channel only has 11.8 million. So it's not that big a spread between 400 and 500. But that's wild. 10 million subscribers doesn't
Million
get you in the top.
subscribers.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
fuck. Okay.
Jesus.
Mm.
That's
All
wild.
right.
All right. Good
Well,
night,
thank
everyone.
you
Thank
very
you
much for
for
letting
joining
me
me,
be
man.
on your device. You are nice. I like you. You
Yeah.
are good.
Line
Thank you very
Spider.
much
Line
for
Spider thinks
letting.
if we had videos of you pole dancing, we'd hit 10 million. So
Yeah, I'd pole dance.
yeah,
I'd do it. I'd do it.
absolutely.
I'd do it in a 2B's bathing costume as well.
Come in like a wrecking ball. Yeah.
Yeah,
Miley
I'd
Cyrus
sing the
style.
song as well.
Yeah. All right, you fine people. Good night. I don't know if I'm going to have any voice tomorrow. I'm supposed to be going to work. We'll see how that works out.
Fuck that. Just ring them up and say it's not happening.
They won't be real surprised because I took Tuesday and Wednesday off, then went in today. I did have a couple meetings, but I was like a fucking zombie for most of the day. They will not be surprised if I don't go in tomorrow.
Yeah, don't do it. Just give
We'll
me a call.
see. But good night, you fine people. We'll see you again soon. And I'll click the end broadcast button.